Hello everyone, I'm Bethany with Texas Women's University Fitness and Recreation, and this is Virtual Mat Pilates. Today we will not need any additional equipment unless you know that your body likes equipment during certain moves. And our focus today is continuing the progress that we have been working on with our long abs series, and also work in extension and side bend. So we'll begin in a quadruped stance. This will be the last week of the quad stance. Start. Check in with your joints and check in with your body throughout the workout. We want to make sure that we're listening to our body the entire time, doing what feels good and right and challenging to us without being too much. So that also means hydrating and taking breaks as you see fit. Let's begin in a neutral spine, drawing the belly lightly in. And we'll take a big breath, feeling everything expand out to the sides and our rib cage. And then we'll exhale and feel that belly button draw in. And it's like we're blowing out candles on a birthday cake. Let's take one more here, feeling everything expand. And then on that exhale, everything funnels down like we're blowing milk bubbles out of a straw. Awesome. Let's add our imprint to that. So tiny pelvic tuck. Here's the example. Notice my upper back is staying neutral as opposed to coming with me in a rounding or extension. Take a breath here in. On the exhale, curl that pelvis just about 15%. Inhale to lengthen back to neutral. The rest of the back does not change. Let's take that again. Exhale to imprint. Inhale to neutral. Last one, exhaling to imprint. And then inhaling to neutral. Let's take one last full Pilates cat breath stretch. We'll take a breath to prepare in. On the exhale, pass through that imprint, tucking the pelvis, then keep exhaling to knit the bottom points of the ribs toward the hips, using your abs to get you there. Inhale to hold, feel that rib cage expand. Maintaining that contraction, exhale, hold here. Feel further contraction of the abs. And then inhale, lengthen that spine back out to neutral. Excellent. From here, let's rotate to our sides, coming into our sideline rotation. We've been working on maintaining a neutral spine while cradling the head, but if you're like, not today, a yoga block or a small stack of books will suffice. We'll stack up the joints, knees, hips, shoulders, neutral spine here. Top arm reaches in line with the chest. Gaze and hand go together. Let's inhale as we rotate, twisting through the obliques. And then exhale, belly button to spine. Back to that start position. And again, inhaling to open. And then exhaling. Everything draws back to center. One more here. Inhaling to open. Gaze and hand go together. And exhaling to close. Let's swivel it on over to the other side. Stacking up the joints. All right angles, knees and hips. Head supported so that we're all in one neutral spinal line. Top hand and arm in line with the chest. Gaze and hand go together. Let's inhale. As we rotate, gaze and hand together. Exhale, belly button to spine. Obliques rotate us back to that start position. Two more. Inhaling to open. And then exhaling. Back to that start position. Feeling this lower oblique drawing away from the mat the whole whole time, let's inhale, open and rotate, and then exhale. Back to that start position. Awesome. We will swivel one more time, and then come to our backs for our hip release. Knees to ceiling, heels in line with the sits bones or the back bony part that you sit on when you sit in a chair. Hands palm down on either side of the hips. We're going to inhale, open the knee out laterally, maintaining stability through the hips. Keep inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, rotate back to parallel and draw it back to that start position. Two more. Inhale, open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to ceiling and draw in. Last one. Inhale, open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, parallel and draw it in. Same side, going the other direction. Inhale to lengthen. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, bend that knee and draw it back to start. Again, inhale, lengthen. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, bend and draw it in. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Rotate, exhale, bend that knee and draw it back to start. Other side this time. Inhale, open to the side. Keep inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, rotate to parallel. Knees and goes to ceiling and keep exhaling to draw it in. Two more. Inhale, open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, parallel, and keep exhaling to draw it in. Last one. Inhale, open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, parallel, and draw it in. Going the other direction on that same leg. Inhale, lengthen. Inhale, rotate out laterally. Exhale, bend that knee and keep exhaling to draw that knee back up toward the ceiling. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, bend and draw it in. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, bend and then draw it in. Keep the legs here going into our hip rolls. We'll inhale, tilt the pelvis through that imprint. Then exhale, continue curling that spine up off the mat one vertebrae at a time, leaving the flat part of the shoulder blades still on the mat, and then really squeezing through those glutes and hamstrings to get that nice diagonal shape here. Then we'll inhale at the top, and then exhale, keeping the knees stable without wobbling open or falling in. We're going to roll that spine back down the way we came up, one vertebrae at a time, and then we'll release those hips last. Let's take two more. Inhaling as we pass through that imprint. Exhale, curl that spine up. Squeezing through the glutes and hamstrings. Inhale at the top. And then exhale with control, starting at the sternum, curl it back down one vertebrae at a time, watching the tracking of the knees and then releasing the hips last. Last one, inhaling through that imprint, exhaling to curl that spine up off the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Inhaling as we squeeze those glutes and hamstrings, and then exhaling, rolling it back down, one vertebrae at a time, and then releasing those hips last. All right, from here, let's take the hands, let them hover next to the hips. We're going to inhale and shrug those shoulders up towards the ears, and then we'll exhale, press the fingertips down toward the heels. Two more, inhaling to elevate the shoulders, and then exhale, reach those fingertips toward the heels. And last one, inhale, shoulders to ears. And then exhale, fingertips to toes. Let the shoulders return to neutral, but float the hands toward the ceiling, palms facing in towards each other. Going into protraction and retraction. Let's inhale as we reach to the ceiling, protraction, and then exhale, lightly press those shoulder backs into the mat. They'll be squeezing also lightly together. 2 more here. Inhale, reach. Protraction. Exhale. Retraction. 1 more. Inhale, reach. And then exhale. Retract. And then let's let those hands float back down in our neutral shoulder position. We'll go through our head nods, inhaling to nod the head, leaving the head on the back of the mat. And then exhale, back to that neutral. Inhale to nod the head. And then exhale, neutral. 1 more. Inhale, nod the head. And then exhale, back to neutral. We will add our ab prep and we'll add to that. So let's inhale through our head nod. Exhale, flex the spine up using your core, reaching our fingertips toward our heels. Inhaling to hold, feeling the belly still drawing away from the t-shirt, and then exhale, roll it back down. Let's take 2 more. Inhaling to head nod, exhaling to curl that spine up with control. Inhaling here, and then exhaling, rolling it back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Last one. Inhale to head nod. Exhale, curl it up. Inhale to hold. And then exhale, roll it back down sequentially. We're going to add on. Inhale, nod the head. Exhale, flex the spine up. Take those palms, rotate at the shoulders so they face in toward one another on either side of the hips. We're going to inhale, let the biceps come toward the ears, maintaining this ab prep position. And then exhale, rotate at the shoulders to flip the palms and snow angel the arms back to that start position. 2 more. Inhaling up, biceps to ears. Exhale, palms to hips. 1 more. Inhaling up. Exhale, palms to hips. Going the other direction. Inhale, up and around, biceps to ears. Exhale, palms straight down to hips. Again, inhaling, up and around. Exhale, floating it down. Careful not to lose your core. Really drawing in here. Last one, inhaling up. And then exhale down. Inhale, nice and deep. And then exhale, roll it back down sequentially and release the hands. Let's take the head side to side a few times. Make sure we're not carrying tension there. And then we'll go through the beginning of our long ab series. So let's inhale to nod the head. Exhale, flex it up to our ab prep position. We'll inhale as we float the legs to a tabletop position. We'll exhale, take the hands to either side of the knees here, and they're going to frame each leg at a time. So we'll inhale, lengthen one leg long, pressing through the glute hamstring connection here, and then exhale, draw back in, switching sides. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to center. Keeping this curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to center. Last round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, center. Last time, last side. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, center. Inhale, take the hands behind the head to give you a tiny bit of support. And we're going to exhale, rotate, and then inhale, draw everything back. Switching sides, so it's a bicycle. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, first side, second time. Inhale, scoop it back to center. Switching on an exhale. Inhale, back to center. Last round. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale. And inhale, center. exhale, float those hands back to frame the legs. We're going to inhale. Think of taking your top hat off and lengthening the legs directly out, still scooping through that belly for support. And then we're going to exhale, fold everything back in. Inhale, think of taking that top hat off, and then exhale, reach right back down to that start position. One more here. Inhaling to reach it all out, and then exhale, drop back in. Now from here, we're going to take one leg long and up, and the other one leg long and out. And I have very tight hamstrings, so be forewarned, this is not going to be very dramatic scissors, but this is where we're going to go. Starting now, we're going to inhale, reach the legs opposite one another, maintaining this curl. Exhale in the center, and then inhale, switch it out. Exhale, center. Inhale, switch. Exhale, center. Inhale, switch. Exhale, center. Inhale, switch. Exhale. Inhale, switch. 2 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Both legs come in. Inhale to hold. And then exhale. Woo! Let's roll it down nice and carefully. And give the hips and the head and shoulders a little bit of a shake. From here, we will roll it over onto our stomachs. And going into our breaststroke prep, we're going to make a change. We have been working with the toes pointed to the corner edges of the mat because the legs have been rotated laterally. We're turned out at the hip joint. We're going to take those legs and leave them a little bit further in, so they're about shoulder-ish, maybe a little bit less distance apart. From there, I'm going to, instead of having them turned out, they're going to be in a neutral position. So, legs parallel, about hip or shoulder distance apart, and then we'll go through our breaststroke preps. 1, 2, and 3. We'll begin with the hands just in front of the shoulders, forearms on the mat, and a neutral spine here. So, this means for me that I won't be here because now I am smooshed forward. I'm going to be here in a tiny hover. Yeah? Okay. So, listen to what feels right to you. Sometimes people benefit from having a yoga block under here for a little bit of support in that start position. Experiment and see what works for you. But from here, in our tiny hover, we're going to inhale, lengthen forward and up, thinking about the belly button drawing away from the mat and the back of the hips squeezing together and lightly up. And then we're going to exhale, curl it back down. Then we'll take 2 more. Inhaling, lengthening the crown of the head forward and up. Very light pressure in the hands. And then exhale, curl it down. 1 more here. Inhale, lengthening forward and up. Feeling the shoulder blades draw down the back. And then exhale, curl it back down. Breaststroke prep 2. Hands float so that the palms are framing the hips. And they are in a slight hover here. Same breath pattern. Inhaling to curl it up, reaching the arms long behind you toward the feet, but the feet and the legs stay on the mat. And then we'll exhale, curl it back down. Everything's the same except for the arm positioning. Again, inhaling, reaching up, and hands reaching back. And then exhale, curl it back down. Last time, inhaling to lengthen forward and lift through the sternum. Hands are reaching behind you. And then exhale, lowering back down. Take those hands, float them forward underneath the forehead, stacked on top. I'll be slightly turned so that we can see and hear and talk to each other. But the hands and the forehead will be glued the whole time unless you would like more support for today, in which case you'd leave the hands on the mat demonstrated as such. You would be here, inhaling to lengthen up, and then exhaling to curl down. But for this prep, we'll take our hands and head together, beginning in our starting position of a hover here. We're going to inhale, lengthen it up, feel those shoulders glide down the back and collarbones widen. Exhale, lower it down. Keeping those feet and legs on the mat. Let's inhale, lengthen forward and up. And then exhale, drop back down. Last time, inhaling, lengthening forward and up. Feeling the shoulder blades coming down the back. And then exhale, curl it back down. Palms can frame the chest to press us up. We'll draw the knees in underneath the torso and then move the hands to frame the legs. Take a breath to prepare. On the exhale, think of pressing the hands and arms into the mat and rounding that spine. In our shell stretch, we should still feel a light core workout here as we feel that belly button draw into the spine on each exhalation. Rounding through the upper and lower back. Let's take one more breath here, breathing in and out. Inhale to lengthen you back up. And then exhale, curl you back down. And let's take it down to the mat. Again, we'll be working with the legs parallel today and about shoulder, between shoulder and sits bones distance apart. And the arms and hands will go in line with the shoulders overhead. So while we're here, to kind of get the feeling, in a modestly relaxed hover, really reach forward and feel those shoulders coming up toward the ears. And then stay still smooshed into the mat and think of the shoulders coming to a more neutral position. Comfortably down the back, but not necessarily where you're coming into extension. So once you've found that happy spot of your neutral with your shoulders, we want to generally start and keep them there. There's going to be a little bit of a forward, kind of a sensation is an exaggeration, but that reaching forward and up sensation is what we're looking for, as opposed to the super reaching forward and up. Yes? Okay. Clear as mud, I'm sure. We're going into a swimmer prep with the upper back in a hover, so much the same as we started here with our breaststroke prep. We'll be here with the arms long, but we'll be lifting opposite arm and leg together on an inhale. So here we go. Reaching opposite arm and leg. Let's inhale, lengthen and lift away. And then exhale, drop back down. Through the inhales and the exhales, that belly button draws away from the mat as we reach. Let's inhale, lengthen and lift other arm and leg together. And then exhale, draw it back down. Switching sides. Inhaling to lengthen and lift through that glute hamstring connection. And then exhaling, drawing it back down. Last one at this pace. Inhaling to lengthen and lift. And then exhaling, lowering down. Let's take it a tiny bit faster. Full breath cycle to prepare. In and out. Drawing the belly button away from the mat. Let's inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lower down. Switching. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lower down. Again, switch. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lowering down. Switching. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lower down. Last round. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lowering down. Last time, last side. Inhale, lengthen and lift. And then exhale, lower it down. Wonderful. From here, let's take those hands to frame the chest, and we'll press it up and back, and we can rotate at the hip joint, taking a diamond shape. Toes together, knees apart, and we'll sit back to a comfortable child's pose here. Resting the head down or leaving it suspended, whatever feels right to us. Breathing in nice and comfortably. And then exhaling, feeling that activation of the core as the back line gets a gentle stretch. Taking 2 more breaths nice and comfortably. Let's take a last breath here. And then we can walk those hands in and roll ourselves up on an inhale. All right, let's shift it around. Once more, coming to the beginning of our half roll back. So we talked about this last week. The goal is to reduce as much of the hip tension as you can. So if that means feet further out, closer in, flexed in either combination, do what you need to do to make you be able to sit upright with a neutral spine as opposed to being curled forward here. Once we've got that situated, let's have the arms reach forward, palms facing down, and arms parallel to the floor. We're going to inhale up nice and tall, and then on the exhale, curl through that lower belly, letting the arms glide in the shoulder joint. We'll inhale to hold here, feeling the belly scoop further. Let's exhale, curl and dive over, striving to keep the arms parallel, and then we'll inhale, stack it up nice and tall. It's worth mentioning, attend to what are the knees doing. Are they wiggling here? Mine are wiggling. I'm working on my hip stability and my oblique stability. Let's take 2 more here. Inhaling up tall, and then exhale, curl through that lower belly. Inhaling to hold and draw the belly in. Exhale, scoop and dive, like you've got a beach ball in your lap. And then inhale, sequentially stack that spine up. Let's take a last one. Inhaling up tall, exhaling, curling through that low belly. Inhaling to hold and scoop further. And then exhale, scoop and dive. And then inhale, stack it up nice and tall. Now we're going to add a rotation. So the quick demonstration will be inhaling up tall here, and then exhaling, sweeping and rotating, and then inhaling, scooping and coming up to the start position here. Let's take palms facing each other as far as the shoulder orientation to begin. So, and then we'll do that alternating each side. Yes, here we go. Inhaling up tall, and then exhaling, rotating through the obliques, gaze follows the hand, and then inhale, scoop that belly and draw it back up to that start position, and then exhale, rotating, gaze follows the hand, and then inhaling, drawing it right back up to start. Again, exhale, rotate, and then inhale, sweep and reach to start. Exhale, rotate, inhale, sweep and reach. One more each side, exhaling, and then inhaling to scoop and reach. Last time, last side, exhaling, and then inhaling, scoop and reach, back to that start position. And then we can exhale, release. Coming into the beginning of our side bend, we have progressed from the legs being totally together, coming to here to really feel that reach and bend. Yeah. Then we came to here to still feel the reach and bend, but also some glutes pushing us forward and up. And now where we're gonna go is we'll maybe take a test run, but we will go into what is going to resemble a side plank, but the legs will be rotated at the hip joint because of how they're starting in this position here with the diamond. So I've got one triangle on the outside of my leg on the mat, and the other triangle, the knee is pointing to the ceiling in front of the ankle with that heel. All right, so I'll demonstrate, then we'll do it as a team. We're going to inhale to lengthen through the side of the top rib cage. Then we'll exhale, squeeze through those glutes, taking it over. Then we're going to inhale, reaching the arm long to ceiling, and then exhale, carefully set it all back down. All right, and if you did the demonstration with me, awesome, because I want to be even myself, so we're going to do 3 more on this side and 4 on the other. Here we go. Inhaling, lengthening through the rib cage. Exhaling, squeezing the glutes, lateral flexion. Inhaling back up, and then exhaling, taking it back down. Halfway there on this side. Let's inhale, lengthen, exhale, lateral flexion. Inhale, reaching up, and then exhale, set it all back down. Last time on this side, inhaling to lift and lengthen, exhaling to squeeze and bend, and then inhaling back up, and then exhaling, setting it down. Let's swivel those legs and get it to the other side. Take a little bit of wiggling to find out where is right for you. As far as a test run, so if you did the demo with me and you'd like to take a quick test run, let's go for that. Test running, inhaling up, and then exhaling, squeezing through the glutes, lengthening and arcing over, and then inhaling up, and then exhaling, taking it down. All right, and if you were like, good, that's my demo on the next side, let's take our 3 side bends here. Inhaling to lengthen through the side of that rib cage. Exhaling, squeezing glutes, lateral flexion. Inhaling, arm to ceiling, and then exhaling, taking it down. All right, 2 more here. Inhaling, lengthening through the side of the rib cage. Exhale, squeeze and side bend. Inhaling back up, and then exhale, setting those hips carefully back down. Last one, inhaling up, and then exhaling, squeeze and side bend, and then inhaling back up, and then exhaling, taking it all back down. Nice. Let's keep with the cross of the legs, but we'll cross at the shins here. Once we're here, we'll take that side. It's actually a seated twist, but we'll keep the arms in our first position here, thinking of the hands and the sternum traveling together. But we're going to change the breath. So we had been exhaling in the rotation and sometimes adding pulses, and then inhaling back to the center. Now we're going to inhale as we rotate through the obliques. So here we go. Inhaling up tall to begin, and then exhaling in our start position. Then we'll inhale to rotate through the obliques, And then exhale, back to that start position. Trying to keep tension out of the shoulders. Let's inhale to rotate. Exhale, back to start. Inhale to rotate, switching sides each time. Exhale to start. Inhale to rotate. Exhale. Start position. One more round. Inhaling to rotate through the obliques. Exhale. Center. Last time. Inhaling to rotate. And then exhale. Back to center. And we are ready to take our last breath together of class today. Palms facing out and up. Let's inhale, lift. And then exhale. Just draw it on down. Nice work, you guys. Please make sure that you are hydrating appropriately for you throughout the day after today's workout. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next week where we continue working on the progress that we built today. Take good care, you guys.